Hi there and welcome back to Planescape Torment. I'm Byron and we should take a closer look at the unbroken circle of Certimon again, because there are a few circles that we can still discover. Okay, so Dekon can't help us anymore because, well, we have progressed into areas that he didn't reach yet. This small round stone is the unbroken circle of Certimon. It is made up of a series... we already had that, I remember. Examine the plates, see if you can puzzle out any new combinations. 3000 XP. As you examine the ring of the second circle, you find a strange link in the plate that mentions the laboring of the Gith people to achieve the rising. A new circle emerges from the link and you unlock it, pulling the plate forth so you can study it. Know that the rising of the people against Illithid was a thing built upon many turnings. Many were the people who lived and died under the Time's blade when the rising was shaped. The rising was shaped upon a slow foundation. Steel was gathered so that it might mark Illithid flesh. A means of knowing the movements of the Illithid was established, at first weak and confused, and stronger, like a child finding its voice. When the movements were known, then the Illithids were observed. In observing them, their ways of the mind were known. When the waves of the Illithid were known, many of the people were gathered and taught in secret the means to shield their minds and the way to harness their will as weapons. They were taught the scripture of steel, and most importantly they were given the knowing of freedom. These things were not learned quickly. The knowing of much of the ways was slow, and in all these things Time's weight fell upon all. From the knowing of one's reflection in the steel plate, to the knowing of submerging the will, to the knowing of seeing itself. All of these things and more the people built upon. In time they came to know the whole. And now we have actually finished the 7th circle of Certimon. Let's talk to the Con again and tell him the news.
What is your will?
There was a 7th circle within the stone of Certimon. It spoke of the building of the rebellion against the Illithids. The Con falls silent. What does this 7th circle speak of? It speaks of time as an ally, not as an enemy. It says that patience can sharpen even the smallest of efforts into a weapon that can strike the heart of an empire. Your victories may be small, but over time a greater victory may be achieved. The Con is silent for a moment. Will you make this circle known to me? Take the unbroken circle of Certimon and unlock the 7th circle. 5000 XP, and we get 2 plates. As you take the circle and twist the links, 2 plates slide from the interior and into your hands. You have no idea where they came from, but the unbroken circle still seems intact. The 7th circle remains. The Con watches you silently. There are 2 plates here. Perhaps we should both study them, you and I? The Con is silent for a moment. There's much you have come to know of the circle, and your knowing carries a greater weight than mine. The Con matches your gaze. Know that your path is mine, and it shall come to pass that you knew the way of Certimon from me. I shall know the way of Certimon from you. Very well, the Con. Let's move on. So, that means 1 for me. Missile of Patience. Yeah, that's funny. We don't know what it does. And 1 for you, my friend. So let's take a look at that spell. That is amazing. Missile of Patience. Range, uncertain. Duration, uncertain. Speed, uncertain. Area of effect, uncertain. Could this spell be any more useless? Cried Ilnek, Mage of Amnar. The bane of mages everywhere. Could this be the practical joke of an archmage, or living disproof of the old prime material axiom that good things come to those who wait? I will try that once. I have no idea what it does. We shall see. Yeah. Okay, let's play with the unbroken... unbroken circle. Thank you. Let's see whether we can find something new. 6000 XP. As you examine the rings of the 7 circles of Certimon, you suddenly become aware of a pattern in the way the links are formed. You hook your fingers into the sides of the circle and unlock a hidden segment, pulling the plate forth so you can study it. You read the symbols. Know that a mind divided divideth the man. The will and the hand must be as one. In knowing the self, one becomes strong. Continue reading the symbols. Know that if you know a course of action to be true in your heart, do not betray it because the path leads to hardship. Know that without suffering the rising would have never been, and the people could never have come to know themselves. Know that there is nothing in all the worlds that can stand against unity. When all know a single purpose, when all hands are guided by one will, and all act with the same intent, the planes themselves may be moved. A divided mind is one that does not know itself. When it is divided, it cleaves the body in two. When one has a single purpose, the body is strengthened. In knowing the self, grows strong. And we have actually now 8 circles that we could study. Okay, let's talk to the con.
What is your will?
There was an 8th circle within the stone of Sertimon. It spoke of the vision of the mind and the importance of focus. The con falls silent. When he speaks again, his tone is quiet, almost reverent. What does this 8th circle speak of? It speaks of focus and discipline. Well, if you have several options and one is quite lengthy, you should take this one. It speaks of focus and discipline, about how not knowing oneself can physically divide the man. It also speaks of the weaknesses that division causes. It seems to me that it tells one to not only know themselves and take strength from that, but that your focus can reveal weakness in your enemy. The con is silent for a moment. Will you make this circle known to me? Take the unbroken circle of Sertimon and unlock the 8th circle. Holy fuck, 10,000 XP for both of us, for each of us. As you take the circle and twist the links, 2 more plates slide from the interior and into your hands. Although the 7th circle, you have no idea where they came from, but the unbroken circle still seems intact. The 8th circle remains. The con watches you silently. There are 2 plates here. We should both study them, you and I. I think when you know the 8th circle, perhaps you will know Sertimon's heart when he made the pronouncement of 2 skies. His words were not those of the Illithids, but of the people. Dakon stares at the plates, his eyes flickering over the geometries upon them, then looks up and matches your gaze. His plate bends, shifts until the shimmering you noticed before has become a silver glow. He seems stronger somehow. Yeah. Strength, dexterity and constitution increased by 2 each. Awesome. Know that when death comes for you, know that I shall meet its blade with mine. Know that when all dies around you, know I shall live for your sake. When we die, Dakon, it shall be the same death. It shall be the pronouncement of the 2 deaths as one.
In knowing
I feel
the teachings
stronger.
of Sertimon, I have become stronger.
2 level ups at the price of 1. Okay. The nameless one now is a level 6 mage. And should get yes, a stat point. Because, well, he only was a level 5 fighter, so now the mage's level actually are higher than the fighter levels. So, the wisdom and intelligence is okay. We will get, I think when we go to the 7th level, we will get bonus points. And the game will give us a few more intelligence and wisdom points, so that's kind of okay. This will develop. I don't have to spend points in there anymore, I think. I could raise charisma, that's quite useful, but then again you can substitute that with magic. Dexterity would be nice to get a better armor class, but then again the nameless one as a mage will not be in the front line, so strength is not that important as well. Maybe constitution, because I want more hit points and a higher healing rate. That would be nice, I guess. There's nothing really that we really need to buff now. Yeah, I think I will pick constitution. Okay, level 6, that's nice. Let's take a look at the inventory. So, the 8th circle of Sertimon. Sertimon's focus. Okay, that's for the con as well. What does that thing do? This enchantment helps the target remember Certimon's teachings on the ways to channel one's mental and physical focus during battle. When cast, the recipient's changes for a critical attack are raised. Chances for a critical attack are raised for 5 seconds per level of the caster. Okay. Well, you know, in the heat of the battle, that might be useful. Okay. Could we do anything with this thing? Examine the plate, see if you can puzzle out any new combinations. You examine the circle carefully, studying the links and trying new patterns, but no new circles reveal themselves. Okay. Maybe we need a better wisdom. Maybe the 8th circle is the final circle? Probably not. Okay. That's awesome. Level 6. Not too shabby. Just, you know, for playing with the thing. Could you sell me something? I would want friendship. Thank you. And I will scribe that. And I will learn it. So, let's rest. Okay, we save. And now we actually cast. So, no, wait. We have a charisma of 10. Now we have a charisma of 17. Would that actually stack? 24, it fucking stacks! Oh, that's amazing. Okay. That's interesting. Let's go in here. Let's see how far we can get that. Can I rest? Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, 25 is the maximum. So I guess I need 2 of those. Hi. Could I buy some things? Because, well, if you have a higher charisma, the prices go down. I want one of those. Blood Bridge we already have. And that's pretty much it. Scribing. Very well. What kind of spells do we want? I don't need you anymore. Instead I'll have 2 friends. But I want one of those. And 2 magic missiles. We have strength here. What else do we have? Blood Bridge. Power of 1. Swarm Curse. That's good to take out spellcasters. Knock. Then again, a knock would be nice if we need to open something. Blur would be nice in battle. I take that one. Oh, we don't have really that many spells. Whenever the caster is attacked while the spell is in effect, all hostile creatures within a 10-foot radius take equal damage. It lasts for one attack per 4 levels of the caster, and effects are not cumulative. You cannot have more than one balance spell erected. If the spell is not triggered, it lasts for 5 seconds per level of the caster. Okay. That's not too bad. Well, if you get attacked, then the enemies take the same damage as you take. But I think that one is better. And yeah, remove curse. Well, we will be able to cast it eventually. So, what kind of spells can you learn, my friend? You don't have that many. Wilco's Eye is nice. Armor. Do you need that? What is your armor class? 0. No, you don't. Probably don't really need that. So I'm thinking about giving you this is a magic missile, right? Yeah. Give you one of those. And you only have the power of one here. Okay. That's not bad. And we are done with resting. Get out. Nod. As you approach the hooded, brown-robed man, you notice that he's mumbling to himself softly and occasionally nodding. Greetings. Someone comes to speaks to nod. Aye. He suddenly breaks into a fit of hacking coughs, then nods to himself. What are you doing? Nothing. Except looking for daggers, nothing else, he sniffs. Then gives another hacking cough. He mumbles for a moment and speaks again, nothing else. Need to jink, jink, jink. Daggers? The man nods. Daggers. Can't sell them to the dusties. I can sell the corpses. He starts nodding without really looking at you. Haul them to the black place, the mortuary. He tilts his head back and forth, then nods again. They are the dusties. They are the dusties. They haggles and gives jink. They takes the daggers in, they do. I and nod don't talks to them till the next body. He sniffs, wiping at his nose with back of his hand. What do they pay for corpses? He shrugs. No matter, no matter. He smiles, then nods sagely. Jink for me, jink, jink. What's this place? He frowns and licks his lips. Rackpicker square, the square, trash everywhere. I everywhere. He coughs. We already had that. I had some questions. He nods. What? He sniffs, then squints at you. Jink. He taps his head, points at you, then points at his head. He wants to know something? Jink. I jink, jink. Okay, we give him, I don't know, 10 coppers. Jink for nod. Jink, jink. He mumbles for a moment, hiding the copper coins away in the folds of his robes. Ask, not tries to answer. I. He coughs for a bit, spitting something off to the side. Tell me about Mabeth. Midwife. Curses and charms she helped with the wee ones. Nice. He wrinkles his nose. Her place up on the platforms. Smell bad. Do you know a man named Farrod? He looks frightened and starts to shake his head. Farrod, Farrod, Farrod. He scratches at his head. What? What about him? He frowns, then shakes his head as if He's not sure he should be speaking to you. Do you know where I can find him? He shakes his head and mumbles. He glances quickly at you, then begins to murmur again to himself. It sounds like he's uttering a prayer against evil. Not here in square. He frowns as if unsure how to explain it. But not in the square. He shakes his head again, then coughs. I'm looking for a journal that I've lost. No. He shakes his head vigorously. No journal. He sniffs, wiping his nose with his sleeve. Tell me about collectors. Me? Me? He seems unsure for a moment and nods assent. Me. Scoops up debtors, take Dusties. Dusties pay, jink for dead. Dead to the right place. Dead happy. Dusty's happy. Not happy. I with not shiny jink. Tell me about this area. He points to ground, nodding. To square. Rackpicker square. Trash everywhere. Sharegrave square. He mumbles to himself for a moment. Tell me about Sharegrave. Sharegrave's shadow long falls over Nod. Does Nod give some of his jink to Sharegrave. Sharegrave tell others in his shadow, watch out for Nod. He sniffs, nodding slowly. Okay, that's pretty much all. He shakes his head, coughs, then resumes his nodding. You'd ask a Nod. You ask a Nod. I not ask a you question for you. Well, obviously, he has a question for us. Go ahead then and ask your questions. Nod has a sister. Amaris. Amaris lives in the hive. Away from here, away from the square. So long ago, Nod was separated from his sister, taken away. You've been separated from her and you'd like me to find her?
Updated my journal.
You don't know her? He shakes his head sadly for a moment, chewing his lower lips. If you sees her, if you does, tell her not. Her brother worries about her, and he does, he worries. Why don't you go find her? No! Nod covers his head with his arms, mumbling to himself. Nod can't speak right no more. He can't neigh, and he smells a corpses and the dirt of the square, Rackpicker square. No! The outburst sends him into a fit of hacking coughs. What happened to you, Nod? Nod sniffs, looking at the ground quietly. Finally he begins nodding to himself, speaking softly. Nod was young, he was, and started hearing voices, tell Nod to do this, do that, bad things, bad, like chewing on Nod's fingers. He holds his hand to his face, and you can see old bite scars beneath the caked-on filth. Go on. So Nod's parents take him away, they does, puts him in a dark place, a winged tower where they poke needles and hooks in Nod's head. Voices stop, they do, but Nod can't think right, can't talks right. Nod escapes the place, he does, wakes up in the hive. Where is this winged tower? Dunno, bad place, bad. He shakes his head violently, clutching at his temples before resuming his usual nodding. Go on with your story. Nod wakes up here, collectors poking at Nod, saying, look, not a debtor. Debtor he's not. Takes him back, And they takes Nod's back, back to the square, so long years ago. Alright, I'll find your sister for you. Nod thanks you, he does. Nod thanks you. Amaris was pretty, so pretty, lives in the hive now. Fair skin she was, hair like jet. And always in blue. She was always in blue.
Updated my journal.
Okay. So let's take a look at that. Amaris. That rings a bell. And living somewhere in the hive. Okay. Hey, have we been in here, I wonder? Yeah, we have been in here.
I'm gone. Alright.
There's a collector. This tower looks like it was built to hold rainwater. Oh, okay, we can't walk across that apparently. This sagging platform looks as if it is about to collapse.
I'm gone.
So Amaris, I kind of well, this name seems vaguely familiar.
I'm gone.
Let's see whether we can find her. Okay, let's see. Where was the exit grid? Somewhere around here, right? Okay. Where do we go? That would be a thing. And then down here. I don't think we need that anymore. Oh well. So, here's the smoldering corpse bar. Amaris should be somewhere around here, if I remember correctly.
Done.
There she is. You see a young woman dressed in a tight leather bodice and leggings. She smells faintly of cheap perfume, and her face, though pretty, is painted with garish makeup. She smiles curly as she sees you. Seeking some company, love? Are you by any chance Amaris? She stares at you silently for a time, then speaks. I was called that, once, long ago. Who are ye? I was sent to find you by Nod, your brother. He's worried about you, and hoped I could tell him how you were. Nod? He's alive? Where? Why didn't he come to seek me out himself? I think he's ashamed. He's a collector now, living in poverty in Rackpicker Square. He doesn't seem quite right in the head, I mean.
Updated my journal.
He was a bit touched, even as a child, when his name was Thudus. Oh, I've missed him so. Ashamed, though? Ha! Me own work's no more proud. Oh well, at least I'm doing well for myself, for a hive at any rate, eh? I must visit him soon. She looks at you closely for the first time since you've spoken. Are you a friend of Nod, Sora? Sort of. Why? Could you... She frowns, biting her lip as if considering something. Could you give this to him? She steps close to you and offers a pouch of what looks to be about 100 copper commons. Yes, I swear I'll get to him.
Updated my journal.
She hands you the pouch. I thank you. Go speak to Nod for me and tell him how I worry about him so. I will. Farewell. So, since I made an oath here, I better stick to it. But, you know, we have a lot of money. Of course, we will deliver the Jink to Nod. So, down here. And to Rackpicker Square again. A quick travel system would be nice. Oh well. And Nod was somewhere around here. There he is. Someone comes to speak to Nod. Yeah, we had that. I spoke to your sister Amaris. You did? Not so happy he is. How's Nod's sister? Tell him of Amaris. Tell Nod, please. His excitement sets off a long series of hacking coughs. When he can finally speak again, he asks, is Nod's sister still pretty? So pretty? Okay, we are saying the truth. Yes, she is. She's a prostitute now in the hive. She's doing well and is worried for you. Not so pleased to know his sister is alright. He looks as if he's going to cry for a moment and swallows hard. Anything more, she said, for Nod to hears? Yes, she wanted you to have these copper commons. She will also visit you as soon as she can find the time.
Updated my journal.
Nod's head stops nodding abruptly and his jaw drops as you hand him the 100 coins. Beneath the dirt-brown hood his eyes gleam with joy. Such wonderful news it is. Good wonderful news. Nod thanks ye, and thanks ye again, and thanks ye 1,000 times more. I'm glad I could help. Farewell, Nod. Well, that was fun. Gives you... Well, you move strangely, my friend. Is this the moonwalk? Oh well. This gives us a warm, fuzzy feeling, right? I spoke to Nod's sister Maris and returned to tell him he was overjoyed to hear of her and also to receive the copper she requested. I delivered to him. Very well. Oh, what do we have? Anna, the Con, Ignis, Walter, nameless one. Nothing new here. What? Oh, well. Well, there's a lot. Wow. You're not wearing much, my girl. Ah, these innocuous insects appear to be little more than giant fleas. However, they can be trained and seem loyal to their owners. How far that loyalty extends is worth investigating. Oh, this is the guy that kicked our ass. And Abishai is one of the least forms of the Bard. It's a race of lawful fiends that seeks to impose cruel tyranny on the face of evil. A black Abishai is the lowest of the Abishai, ranking below the green and the red forms. They are the infantrymen and skirmishers of the Blood War. They are malicious and compared to the rest of the Bards race, not terribly clever. Okay. We still have our quests. Okay, I think we should call it a video now and continue the next one. So thank you very much for watching and see you soon. Bye.